Avoid buying these 18 types of houses in the UK. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Buying a home is probably the biggest financial decision most of us will ever make. It can be exciting, but it can also be incredibly expensive if you overlook the warning signs. In this series, we're looking at 18 types of properties that deserve a second thought before you buy. Now that doesn't mean every one of these homes is a bad purchase. In some cases, they can still be excellent investments if the price is right and you fully understand the risks. The aim of this video is to help you ask the right questions before making one of the biggest commitments of your life. Today we're covering 3 common issues that many buyers don't fully understand. Houses with large trees close to the property. Homes with electricity pylons nearby or in the garden. Properties affected by Japanese knotweed. These are all issues that could affect your property's value, maintenance costs, mortgage options, insurance, or future resale. This video is intended as general information only, and isn't a substitute for professional legal, surveying, or financial advice. Every property is different, so always seek advice from qualified professionals before making a purchase. If you enjoy practical UK property advice, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. Let's begin. 1. Houses with large trees close to the property. Most people love mature trees. They provide shade, improve privacy, attract wildlife, and can make a street look beautiful. But from a property perspective, a very large tree growing close to a house deserves careful investigation. The first concern is subsidence. Subsidence happens when the ground beneath the property moves, causing the foundations to shift. One of the biggest causes of subsidence in some parts of England is moisture being removed from clay soils by large trees. During long dry periods, tree roots absorb large amounts of water. If your home is built on shrinkable clay soil, that soil can dry out and shrink. As it shrinks, the foundations may move. This movement can result in cracks in walls, sticking doors and windows, uneven floors, and, in more serious cases, structural damage. Now it's important to point out that not every tree causes subsidence. It depends on several factors, including the species of tree, the age of the tree, the distance from the house, the soil type, the depth of the foundations. That's why a professional survey is so important. Another issue is tree roots damaging underground drains. Roots naturally search for moisture. If they find tiny cracks in old drainage pipes, they can enter the pipe and continue growing inside it. Over time, this may block drains or cause expensive repairs. Large trees can also create ongoing maintenance. Branches may overhang the roof. Leaves block gutters every autumn. Moss can grow on damp roofs. Storms may break branches that damage fences, garages, or vehicles. If the tree is protected by a tree preservation order or located in a conservation area, you may not even be allowed to remove or significantly prune it without permission from your local council. That means future maintenance could be more complicated than you expect. Insurance companies may also ask questions if there's evidence of previous subsidence. Some insurers charge higher premiums or apply exclusions. None of this means you should automatically reject a house with a large tree. Instead, ask questions. Has the property ever suffered subsidence? Has any structural movement been repaired? Is there a recent survey? Has CCTV drainage inspection been carried out? These answers could save you thousands of pounds. 2. Houses with electricity pylons in the garden or nearby. The second type of property deserves careful thought. Homes close to high-voltage electricity pylons. For some buyers, pylons aren't a concern at all. For others, they're an immediate deal-breaker. One of the biggest issues isn't necessarily the pylon itself. It's future resale. Even if you're perfectly happy living there, many future buyers may not be. That usually means a smaller pool of buyers when you decide to sell. Sometimes these properties take longer to sell, and may achieve a lower selling price compared with similar homes nearby. Another consideration is noise. On damp or rainy days, some high-voltage lines produce a faint buzzing or humming sound. Some people barely notice it, others find it annoying. It's worth visiting the property at different times of day, and in different weather conditions, before making an offer. You should also understand whether any legal rights affect the land. Utility companies often have easements allowing them access for maintenance. There may also be restrictions on building extensions or planting large trees beneath overhead lines. Many people ask about possible health risks. Current scientific evidence has not established that simply living near electricity pylons causes illness. However, concerns remain among some members of the public. Whether those concerns are supported by evidence or not, they can still influence buyer behavior and ultimately affect property values. Mortgage lenders will often lend on homes near pylons, but every case is assessed individually. The important thing is to understand exactly what you're buying. Walk around the property. Look at the view from the garden. Can you hear the lines? Would you still feel comfortable living there in 10 years? These are practical questions every buyer should ask. 3. Houses with Japanese knotweed. Now let's talk about one of the most feared plants in UK property: Japanese knotweed. For many years, this invasive plant has worried homeowners, surveyors, and mortgage lenders. The plant spreads through underground rhizomes rather than ordinary roots. If left untreated, it can spread rapidly across gardens and neighboring land. Although recent research suggests the plant's ability to damage strong buildings has sometimes been overstated, it can still create significant problems. It can grow through cracks in paving, damage garden walls, affect patios, invade drains, and create expensive management issues. The biggest challenge is often not physical damage. It's the cost of treatment and the impact on selling the property. Mortgage lenders frequently ask whether Japanese knotweed is present. If it is, they may require evidence that a professional treatment plan is already in place before approving a mortgage. Professional treatment usually takes several years and requires ongoing monitoring. Simply cutting the plant down rarely solves the problem. In fact, disturbing it incorrectly may make the problem worse. Removing contaminated soil can also be expensive. Another issue is disclosure. If you're selling a property with Japanese knotweed, you're generally expected to answer questions about it honestly. Failing to do so could lead to legal disputes later. If you discover Japanese knotweed during a viewing, don't panic. Instead, ask sensible questions. Has it been professionally treated? Is there an insurance-backed guarantee? How long has the treatment program been running? Can the seller provide documentation? Sometimes a well-managed treatment plan makes the property perfectly acceptable. Sometimes it doesn't. The key is understanding the facts before you exchange contracts. Conclusion: buying a home should never be rushed. A beautiful kitchen, or freshly painted walls, can distract buyers from problems that may cost thousands of pounds later. Today's 3 examples are not automatic reasons to walk away. Instead, they're reasons to investigate further. Ask questions. Read the survey carefully. Speak to your solicitor. Understand your mortgage lender's requirements. And if necessary, negotiate the purchase price to reflect any additional risks or future costs. In the next part of this series, we'll look at even more types of properties that deserve careful consideration before you buy. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments whether you've ever encountered any of these issues while house hunting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.